The 10-year marriage. Let me first tell you that me and my wife have rarely ever fought in our 10 years together, but she is famous for overreacting on everything. Well, 1 month ago, she told me she wasn't happy anymore. No fighting or anything leading up to this. Told me I move out of her and the kids, so I left. Well, 3 weeks into the separation, last week, she hits me with the line, "And before someone tells you, I am seeing someone, but it just started." Now, I don't believe this line for 1 second. Obviously, this guy had a hand in her making this decision. I guess she thinks the grass is greener, but it won't be with a 22-year-old guy who has a history of being with a lot of women, and he also lives with his aunt and can't keep a job. Anyway, she is pushing for the divorce hard, and she called me tonight to talk about lawyers and just wanting to get it over with. She said she will agree to anything, so I said, "How about split custody?" And she was okay with it. Well, if anyone knows her, she would have never been okay with not having her kids half the time. I've read people in affairs have a cloudy head, but I just don't understand her thinking in this. Is she trying to rush off all this so she can be with the OM, even if it means she's stupid choices like this? It all seems fishy the way she is acting and okay with everything just to get this over with. What do you think is going through her head? Now is the time to get it with her willing to throw everything away for her OMG. She's hardly a cougar, she's only 27, LOL. She's barely worked in her life as I've been providing for her since we got together 10 years ago. I just can't believe she isn't trying to get anything out of me. She will come out of this with a vehicle, some child support, split custody, and our home is still up in the air, but that would be it. Talk about head in the clouds, LOL. Either way, I'm hoping she keeps this frame of mind until I can get this on paper. If all this guy isn't in it for the long run, I can guarantee that he might be pushing her and promising her things so she can get this done, so he can move out of his aunt's apartment and in with her. She will be a train wreck when she realizes what she gave away for this other man when things go south for them. Unfortunately, I still hurt over this, but I do see the light at the end of the tunnel, and I agree that I need to get the deal now before she snaps out of this and goes stupid. She is just so stupid and selfish and blinded by this affair that she is willing to give up anything and everything just so she can quickly shack up. Her family really liked me and are heartbroken and embarrassed she did this, and they are letting her know that they are not accepting of this other man, but she is trying to sell him to them hard. I guess maybe she is thinking that when she is officially divorced it won't look as bad and they will be accepting of him, but that is just my guess. I already had his name checked, no record. My WW has always had various medical problems, so I know once she starts having medical complications again, he will be out the door. He also can't hold on to a job, so I'm sure he won't want to take on a woman who doesn't work and her 2 kids long term. Well, I went to pick up my kids this afternoon for my weekend with them. My wife was acting strange. She was in my personal space, following me around closely. I'm done getting the kids in, and I get in and close my door. She asked to kiss the kids bye, and I said okay. She does that, then opens my driver's door and gets in close. She has this watery-eyed, sad puppy dog look on her face. She throws her arms up on each side of me and says, "Can I get a hug?" and starts leaning in. What is up with that? She is so hell-bent on us being friends. I told her I'm not interested in being friends at this point. She's my wife, well, soon to be ex. I grabbed her wrist as she was leaning in and shut that down. She said, "You don't want to hug me?" And I proclaimed, "No, don't touch me." She wanted the separation and wants divorce, and less than a month after separation, she is seeing someone. Why the fuck would she think I want to be her friend and hug her at this point in time? What is going on in this girl's head? Maybe she just expected me to be okay with this and be like, "We'll have a nice life, you screwed me over, but we're going to be best friends because we have kids together." No, she is not on any medication except for medical reasons, heart. I am actually hoping she has fallen for him hard because I know he won't put up with her for long. A 22-year-old with a history of going through his fair share of women definitely doesn't want to take on a woman with 2 kids and a body that is evident of carrying 2 kids, LOL. He's with her now for weeks, and once it grows stale, he will be gone. As for the incident that happened today, man, that crap felt good. It was the first time in this month of hell, separation's D-Day, that I felt I had the power and I controlled the situation. By me rejecting her hug, I think it shocked her and made her think that he might be stronger than I thought. I see a counselor today for the first time just to help me get through this and let me talk and vent. I felt it went pretty well. The doctor kept saying he was very pleased that I was a really good guy and just a little. I told him he described her as egotistical, self-centered, and very immature. I'd say he hit the nail on the head. She will go through many relationships because she is stubborn and hard to deal with. I offered a stable home and family life, but she wanted something else, I guess. Sucks that she will drag my kids through this. Basically, she feels that if I am playing along and friendly with her, she will feel less guilt about her putting herself above the marriage and her family. She's trying to make this all one big happy life. Whatever her intentions were, when I refused her hug, it upset her. She ended up walking away teary-eyed. I guess it didn't go as planned, LOL. It's only a matter of time before she realizes the mistake she made. She is obviously not thinking straight if she thinks that whatever they have together will be better than what she had before. They will never work out, and I can put money on that. Doesn't matter when she realizes because that debt will be gone. The thing about me and WW's interaction and conversation yesterday was she was still uttering the same, "Sorry we couldn't make it, but we need to get along and be friends for the kids" crap. So with her saying that, I would assume she is still thinking she got a good catch with the other man, but you could definitely tell something was bothering her. Like I said, she had this sad puppy dog look on her face. She was teary-eyed, on the verge of crying, and wanted to hug me. I think she might be having a hard time with me saying I wanted to split custody of the kids. She cried on the phone because I was taking her kids away from her. Tough crap. She told me that is hurting her, and why do I want to hurt her like that? Yes, she had the nerve to say that, like she thinks I don't know anything about being hurt, or maybe I should be concerned with her feelings, LOL. She's probably a little bit confused now because consequences are starting to get real. Really aggravated at the moment. My two little kids have been bringing up Mommy's new boyfriend this weekend and how he bought my oldest a birthday present this past week, but she claims he don't go around the kids, but they know his name, and they at least talk to him on the phone to say what she wanted for her birthday. This little duck already trying to buy my kids love. I'm not a violent person at all and have never hit anyone in my life, but someone please tell me why I shouldn't slap the piss out of her today when I bring the kids back and go find her boyfriend and wrap the present around his head. At this point, I'm pissed at her, but I hope this guy eventually gets what's coming to him. Someone already put him in the hospital for the same thing by beating his head in with a bottle. Guess he didn't learn. Well, it seems her breakdown is beginning, LOL. She called me a few minutes before I bring the kids back to her to ask if I work tomorrow. My workday is optional tomorrow, but she don't know that. Well, I told her I had to work. She then starts crying. Well, I don't have anyone for the kids for me to do the job thing, and it doesn't bother you because your world is perfect. Well, hey babe, that's single mom problems. Don't burden me with your problems. I just exchanged the kids with her, and she seemed to be okay now. In fact, she was trying to make it a point to rub some things in my face. I took everything out my vehicle and put it in her car, and when I was kissing the kids goodbye, she told them, "Hey kids, guess what mommy has now? I have your names on me, but I'll show you guys later." I never was fond of her adding more tattoos, so she was making it a point for me to hear so she could rub it in a little.
She's trying to change your appearance for whatever reason. She cut her hair short and it's a different color. She pierced her lip and is adding tattoos, but I didn't let it bother me. I kissed my kids goodbye and then just walked over to my truck and got in. I glanced over to make sure no one was walking out in front of my vehicle before pulling off, and I see her with a huge smile on her face, and she blows me a kiss sarcastically. I guess she thinks she is bothering me, but I don't show her anything. Not sure what's going on now, but apparently she's starting to freak out a little because she is seeing that I'm not playing her games anymore. She called me earlier to try to provoke a fight, I guess, but I think she was mad that the two kids were crying and saying they wanted to be back with me. She was mad at me because the oldest was saying she hated her new boyfriend and she wished she could be with me forever. She made the comment that, well, I'm sure they're the same when they're with you, that they want to be with me. I said, well, not really. The oldest says she misses you, but the youngest begs me to say that she don't want to go back to you. And that really pisses her off. She kept trying to justify her new boyfriend and saying she deserves to be happy and move on, and I just kept repeating, I don't care. It seems to really be striking a nerve with her because no matter what she said to try to provoke me, I just would repeat, could have moved on, and I don't care. I was in total control. I felt good, and she didn't know what to do. She was getting choked up on the phone, and I could hear the uncertainty in her voice. It all came to an end when she said, "Oh, so you don't care? Well, what if I was gone tomorrow? You wouldn't care?" And I replied, "Nope, I'll just collect your life insurance check." I know this was mean, and I'm not usually like this, but she pushed my buttons. Well, she hung up on me, and I could tell it upset her, but it was kind of funny because I said something, I don't remember what it was, and she said, "Really? So you weren't happy too? So this is the right thing to do?" She got excited because she thought I was admitting to the marriage being a failure and justifying her actions. I responded to that with, "No, I didn't say anything like that. I didn't say that I wasn't happy. Don't put words in my mouth." Definitely not getting satisfaction from her calling me more than she has to. I still get a sick feeling in my stomach when I see it's her calling. This would be easier if I didn't have to deal with her as much or even at all. Unfortunately, I have to maintain contact and a relationship with her because we have kids. I'm expecting this to become real for her during the upcoming holidays because I know it will be tough on me. I don't know what's going on in her, and I'm not sure what she wants. Hell, I don't think she even knows what she wants from the way she is acting and the stuff she says. She just seems lost. I'm concentrating on my kids right now, and that's what matters the most. I'm not trying to get caught up on her train wreck of emotions and confusion, and trying to keep focused on the ones I usually do a good job of only interacting with her a small amount when we exchange the kids. I get out, take care of business, but she usually asks me a question or two about bills, money, or divorce, or something else, and I just reply with the minimum number of words. I usually don't even look at her and keep doing what I'm doing. My kids are my top concern. I don't know if that day will ever come that she tries to come back, but I'm not looking forward to that, and I try not to think about it. It's just something I'd rather not deal with. But I do look forward to her realizing the grass isn't greener and the real world is harder than she thinks when someone isn't taking care of her like I did. She hasn't admitted anything besides saying she is seeing the guy. She was trying to argue last night by saying, "You can't get me on adultery because no, it hasn't happened yet. We haven't slept together yet." And I just said I didn't care and I'm not trying to get her on adultery, just a straight-up divorce. I was thinking about going to the grocery shopping for them and bring the groceries to them. I have been giving a fair amount of money to support the kids during the separation. She told me she didn't have any money because she spent it all on food, but my oldest kid told me yesterday they don't have any food in the house. Comments. 1. She's been cheating on you for months, maybe years. She just found this guy 3 weeks ago? Please, she's been prepping your replacement for a while. There were probably other guys to think about when she first started acting emotionally distant to you. That'll give you a good approximation on when the affair started. 2. She's an ungrateful, selfish idiot. She's offering you a superstar divorce. I promise you there's an expiration date on the offer, and eventually, when fog clears up, she'll want more. Take the deal now, but don't look happy or eager about it. Pretend to be all bummed out and struggling, but sign off on everything quickly. Tell her you just want her to be happy and all that crap. Bail out now while there's still a golden parachute left. Engaging her will only hurt your chances at a clean getaway. 3. Get off her radar now. Don't talk to her unless you absolutely have to. Leave her in fantasy land. 4. The old relationship is gone. Lose weight. Go to the gym 5 days a week. Get back to your high school physique. Dress well if you can muster it. Join some dating sites and go on some dates. Just have fun. Maybe get laid. Hang out with friends. Look up old ones. Pick up old hobbies. 5.
This is the hardest part. Eventually, it may take months or even years, but she'll beg you to take her back. She'll get dumped by other men. Or she'll realize life is hard and she needs to do actual work for things. Don't fall for it. She's damaged goods now, and you deserve better than sloppy seconds. She wants to be your friend because of guilt, but more importantly because she wants Plan B around you. Once you get out, run for the hills and never look back. You may not know it now, but eventually you'll wake up and realize, 1, she's just a problem now. 2, she did you a favor. Kids always lose in these situations, but mommy being a who is on her head, not yours. Good luck, OP. Response: and not saving her from blame, she is the one at fault, but he absolutely knows she had a husband and small kids, but because he has no morals, he goes with it. A little bit of an update, not really directly involved with my situation, but very interesting to say the least. We moved to the street where we lived sometime mid-summer. Well, across the street was also a young couple our age. My wife and the girl across the street slowly became better and better friends because our kids played in the yard together and went to the same school. Eventually, they were together all the time and were best friends. Fast forward a little bit, me and my wife split a month and a half ago, and then 2 weeks ago she tells me she is seeing someone. Okay, well, 2 weeks ago, I find out that this other couple across the street is also having marriage problems and are now separated. So now, just a few minutes ago, I find out that she was seeing someone also. So that's why she left. Used gangs flock together. This isn't just coincidence. I'm sure that the 2 guys must know each other, and our 2 wives must be plotting this. Funny thing is that our 2 wives are much alike. They wouldn't have crap if it wasn't for the devoted husband out there working to provide for their families, as both of these women never really worked. Coincidence, or they talk each other into making this jump? The 2 other men have to be connected, right? At the same time, I'm going through a tough time too. I don't feel sorry for her. Why is it that I have good days and bad days? I was doing fine the last few days, and then today I was down inside, was high, couldn't get her out of my mind, had the mind movies, which led to being depressed and the sick feeling in my stomach returning. Is this how it's going to be for a long time? Do you think something triggered it? I try to keep my mind busy, but it's impossible to stop yourself from thinking about it. I know it will be rocky for a year and maybe more, but I try to take it one day at a time and just try to keep positive that it can only go up from here. DW called me earlier in the week to tell me my youngest of 2 kids had been crying because she wanted me and asked if I could go spend some time with my kids, so I said sure. Well, it was sure her plan all along, but she suggested I take her Friday night to sleep at my house, so I agreed. Then she asked if I would take the other kid, and me not wanting to leave my other kid out, I said sure, I'd take her too for the night. Keep in mind, this isn't my weekend for them, so I figured she was up to something and wanted to do something. It slipped out she had a hair appointment Saturday morning, so I figured she didn't have anyone else for the kids, so that's why she wanted Saturday.
To pawn them off. She could also be seeing home tonight. I don't know, and I don't really care. I don't want to give in her and let her be free of kids when she wants, because she is a cake eater. Should I refuse to take the kids this weekend? I followed through what a bunch of you guys suggested. I gave her a gift card to the local grocery store, 75% of her child support I would usually give her. She, of course, reacted like I figured she would. Is this all that you're going to give me? I don't even shop at this store. I responded with, hey, well, our oldest kid said you'll have no food in the house, and I've been giving you more than enough money, so you haven't been using it like you should. She got so pissed, probably because she was planning on that money to pamper herself more. She is supposed to be getting her hair done tomorrow. Well, she just got it done within the past 2 weeks. I do want the kids every chance I can, but if I keep taking them, then I am enabling her. I did follow up. I contacted the other girl's husband across the street to put our heads together. He got the same situation as me. Turns out his wife actually left him for another man right after my wife did. I asked him if our wives knew other men, possibly know each other, and he said yes, they are best friends. So apparently our wives decided to make this jump to other men together. Other men that, I might add, both have nothing in life with relatives and both can't keep jobs.
The BH is a bit of a tough guy, so he won't show that he is hurting, but by bringing up the subject to him, he started to spew info, so that means he is hurting. He handled things differently, thought his wife moved out, not sure if it was his or her choice. He went right out and got a new girlfriend, but that was probably a move to show up his wife. They've had problems before as he found out she made out with his friend months before. Our wives are very similar. Both wives don't work and never really have. They are at-home moms and have had husbands that have good jobs, and both have been taken very well care of. They just bought a brand new home maybe 3 months ago. Women just don't realize what they're throwing away, and for 2 other men that are probably only with them for the fun. Both other men are early 20s, wives are mid to late 20s, and the guys are not settled in on life. I doubt a 22 and 20-year-old guy wants to take on 2 women with kids already that don't work and have bodies of women that get back with her husband. At least one of them was smart enough to realize she made a mistake. That's pretty pathetic of a grown woman to get mad at someone for doing what's right. When I brought the kids back last surgery, I told my WW that I had something to do that night, and when I brought them back, I made sure to wear nice clothes and cologne. Well, out of the blue, I have my oldest kid asking me today if I have a girlfriend because I was dressed nice and smelled good. No way she would have thought of that on her own, and when she never mentioned anything that night. My WW must be using the kids to fish for information, right? Legal situation is I seen a lawyer. I'll be signing the contract to hire him as soon as I can. I've been really busy at work. Go to work in the dark and come home in the dark. I don't want her back. Leaving a marriage with small children to chase some fantasy is an inexcusable act in my book. Only problem is I'm having problems detaching. This is tough. I'm working on it. Concentrating on myself and my kids' relationships. I'm working on improving myself through exercise and individual counseling. I can't just push past all the stuff she's doing, and her behavior is always on my mind. I have to detach, but it's rough. Up to story. I usually have something to update when I bring my kids back to WW after my weekend, and this weekend is no different. First of all, when I get my kids, I concentrate on them. I don't pry into mommy life or try to get info out of my kids. This info would just hurt me anyway, so I don't want to know it. They will occasionally say something my days with them, and then I might ask a question based off of what they said, but I don't want to ask about mommy or her new boyfriend, and that never came up yet. The little bit they say is mostly about other details or whatever they slip out. So, as usual, right after I drop them off to her, my phone starts ringing, which I ignore it because I just know it will be WW with her stupidity and will be looking to chew my silver for something. Well, after it kept ringing, I answered, and I was right. WW was accusing me of grilling my kids with questions about her and her new boyfriend, which I never even did. Then she says, and whoever Nancy, I don't know who she is, but she better not touch my kids. Nancy? Who the hell was Nancy? I guess she's accusing me of a Nancy being my girlfriend, but I don't even know her, Nancy. It pisses me off because I'm tired. If I drop them off, I get a phone call with her saying, gee, I'm asking the kids questions or whatever. Funny how I had them for the past 4 days, but they don't say a whole lot about the other side. But 2 minutes after they get in her care, she supposedly knows I'm asking the kids questions. Sounds to me she is grilling the kids as soon as they get in the car about whether or not I'm asking the questions. She's got a boyfriend, but it seems like it gets her fired up with the potential thought of me having a girlfriend. How do I handle this? She needs to grow the F up, but that won't happen, so how do I handle her immaturity on my part? Seems like she's jealous. My kids ask me as soon as I get them if I have a girlfriend, and then she accused me of a Nancy. Seems like she's trying to get info out of my kids, and that she is jealous, worried at the possibility of me having someone else. Some days later. What a start to a crappy day when WW revealed to me she was seeing someone. She said it was okay because he doesn't go around our kids. Bullcrap. I went this morning to drop child support check off at the home so I could leave it there and not have to deal with her in person. Well, what do I see? The little duck sleeps there. The guy's truck was parked in my old parking spot. I've been nice and fair up until now, even with her messing around, but now it's time to bring it to her heart. I'll be seeing a lawyer, SRP, for more advice on how to handle this, but that is messed up for me to move out and then move in writing with my kids. I was going to give her a fair deal on the divorce, but now I'm going to get all I can. Sorry, I'm venting because I'm so furious.
Yeah, this was pretty much expected, but nothing prepares you for the feelings when your suspicions are confirmed. I don't care about what the two of them do or are doing, but what makes my blood boil is they are living off my hard-earned dollars. I've been paying all the bills for that household, and I paid for that home by myself, and now he is living there in my hard-earned home around my kids, and we only separated. Just when I go and open my mouth about nothing new or exciting, today happens. I go to meet my WW at our usual spot so I can get my kids from her. I make it there first, so I'm waiting on her. I see her pull into the parking lot, but I can tell she has someone with her. Well, as the car gets closer, I can tell it's her other man that's with them. What a fucked up situation that she brings him with her to drop the kids to me. That's an ultimate sign of disrespect and not giving a crap about me, which I guess that should have been figured already. I wanted to lose it when I seen him with them, but I figured that's probably what she wanted, so I just did nothing. Today was definitely a tough day, tougher than most. Not much of an update. Meeting with a PI tomorrow so he could obtain the needed evidence for my adultery case against my wife. The reason for me pursuing the adultery is to stop me from having to pay spousal support. I need the evidence, so that's why I hired the PI. I'll save money in the long run by hiring this guy and avoiding paying her spousal support. Updates to my situation, just because some of you are interested. I get my 2 kids every other weekend, and this coming weekend would be mine with them, but setbacks were asked for them, so I agreed and I took the kids this week. Anyway, I was going to get them yesterday after a doctor appointment I had. Well, she starts texting me if I'll be long because she has to go 30 minutes away for a job interview in an hour. Now understand, she has had jobs for 10 years we have been together, but they never last, so she's never really had to work. I can only come out the doctor as fast as the doctor gets to me, but she increasingly is getting impatient about me taking too long. Eventually it gets to the point that she is saying that I have once again screwed her because she won't make it to her interview and she has to work because I'm not giving her support money. I am only paying all the bills. I stayed calm the whole time and was never ugly with my responses through text while I was in the doctor office. I told her to send the kids in to the
office if she had to go, and I'd meet them in the waiting room and let them in the back with me, but for whatever reason, that wasn't a good plan for her. I eventually come out, and she is waiting with the kids in the parking lot for me, and immediately starts that she is pissed off that I screwed her over again, that it is my fault she is late. Starts saying that court needs to happen so my rear could get handed to me. She said that I was always a jerk when we were together, so why would I be any different now? She then starts again with the finances, that I'm not supporting the kids and that I'm only paying bills, that they have needs. Granted, I was giving extra money plus paying all the bills, $4,000, and 3 months' worth of extra money, but stopped when I say the money was just being used to buy her new clothes and hair and makeup. I never get worked up, so I kept blowing her off by saying, "Yep, okay." She eventually gets in her car and is still yelling at me through the window, and I'm not even saying anything. I smirked because she was getting so worked up over nothing, and her eyes were getting watery. Then she says, "Oh, you are eating this crap up." And at that point, all I did was laugh and get in my truck to leave. As I'm closing the door, I hear her say, "You are a loser. You always were and will always be a loser, and I'm glad I finally opened my eyes to you now." I guess she doesn't know what a loser is. I have a great job, I have a good relationship with my kids, friends, and family. I have always taken care of my responsibilities like a man and have never hit or cheated on my wife. On the other hand, she has never really kept a job for long, with long periods of not working between jobs. She is always in the middle of drama, has no education, and left her husband for a boy younger than her who can't keep a job and looks like a little punk. I heard after that her boy toy got fired from his job 2 days ago for being 2 hours late, so that explains why she's panicking and trying to all of a sudden find work now, and never think it was important before. Yet I am the loser in her eyes. When I first started posting, many of you said she was a train wreck waiting to happen, and for me to just worry about myself and my 2 kids. Well, I've been doing that, and I'm just sitting back and enjoying the show, LOL. I heard from someone in the know that her and her boyfriend had broken up 3 or 4 times in December alone. She has always been that way, so I wouldn't think now would be any different with her blaming me for everything.
I had a doctor appointment before she had an interview, but it was my fault she was late. She will project everything onto me, and that she is so happy now and glad she opened her eyes. You know what's truly sad? She claims I'm a bad dad and never wanted anything to do with my kids. But last weekend, my little one told me straight up that I wish when Mommy broke up with you that I didn't have a mom and I could live with you forever. How sad is that for a little 4-year-old to say that about their mom? Little kids always love their mom, and for her to say that says a lot about both sides of the situation. I don't know her motives behind bashing me, whether she actually believed this crap about me or not, and I don't care. But she must be trying to convince herself or someone else that she made the right choice. Glad she is stressing, though. She put me through a lot the first few months while she lived it up, no consequences. Time for her to see that life isn't perfect. This is just the start of her problems, believe me. I kept that ship righted for a long time. Update. I took my kids a few weekdays this week instead of my usual weekend. That way I could get both my kids' eye exams at the eye doctor. I know setbacks, you never would be responsible enough to even get that done. One of the nights I had the kids, I believe Tuesday, I am woken up to a text message at almost midnight. I look over at my phone and it's my setbacks WW's mom. She sent me a text basically just saying that it seems that I lost trust in her because I don't respond to her texts anymore, and that she is sorry I feel that way. She said she loves me very much and hopes for the best for me, and that she misses me very much and felt need to tell me. She went on to say that she is thankful of the 2 grandkids I gave her and that they are a constant reminder of me. Basically, she loves me and misses me, that she wanted me to know that. The day I was supposed to bring the kids back, the setbacks WW asked if I could keep the kids later than I was supposed to because she had job search stuff to do. Remind her that piece of crap other man just lost his job a week ago, and she never really worked, so now they're desperate. I agreed to it as it gave me more time with my kids, and I spent the day doing fun stuff with them after the eye doctor appointment. When it came the time for me to bring them back, she asked if I could bring them to her or to her mom's because she was in so much pain that she couldn't move. Again, she's always had medical problems. When she decided to leave, she was feeling healthy and felt she was probably past the health problems. I wasn't going back to the home, so I decided to bring the kids to her mom's. I got there, got the kids and their stuff out the vehicle, and walked to the door. Her mom comes out and asks how I'm doing and if she could have a hug. I went with it. My oldest kid asked her if she could go to the store, and her grandmother responded that she was waiting to see if my STBX was going to the emergency room, so apparently the pain story was true. I woke to 5 texts and a couple of missed calls early Friday morning. It was Ding Ding again, asking if we had dental insurance because her tooth was hurting her. So apparently she's having the stomach pains and problems and also the dental problems. Karma. I gave her the needed info on the insurance. Since then, I've been receiving the sad story text from her stating she is in horrible stomach pain, but her doctor won't see her until she pays what she owes him from her surgery she had 2 months ago. She's also asking if I could help her so she could go to the dentist because her tooth is killing her and she is in so much pain. I haven't even been responding to her.